Kellyanne Conway is senior advisor to President-elect Trump. She joins us once again at the table. Good to see you, Kellyanne. Much to discuss this morning. Let's start with this. When is President-elect going to tell us that Mitt Romney is out and Rex Tillerson is in?
Well, the President-elect will make his final announcement midweek, he told me yesterday. And as you can see, Gail, he's taken this process very seriously. He's had a very wide selection, wide berth, really, of qualified men and women. And it looks like Rex Tillerson is a leading candidate until the President-elect makes that announcement.
So other people are still in the running, Kellyanne?
Well, they are. But obviously, there's been a lot of buzz about Rex Tillerson of late. It's a very unique Trumpian kind of pick.
Lawmakers on both sides have concerns about his ties to Putin. How are you all handling that concern?
We look at this as an asset, not a liability, in that it's not that he's hanging around with Vladimir Putin on the weekend at dinner parties. It's that he understands Russia. He's already doing business there. He's had to deal with China, Russia, Yemen, the developing world, certainly the Middle East, which needs stabilization. ExxonMobil is a $320 billion company. Rex Tillerson is in charge of 70,000 employees. The Secretary of State has about a $66 or $70 billion budget. And this is somebody who knows negotiation. He knows about national security. He knows how to, he's a job creator, certainly. This is the fourth highest ranking official in our United States government. Very important selection.
How about John Bolton? Is he under consideration for the State Department?
He's certainly interviewed for this position, and he may end up with a position in the State Department, Charlie. Again, that will be announced by the President-elect. But, I mean, really greatly qualified and very diverse backgrounds of all the individuals who have come in.
Can I raise one question with respect to the President-elect's mind in terms of what he has said? Not whether there was influence by Russia and hacking to defeat Hillary Clinton and elect Donald Trump, but just the idea of Russia hacking. All American intelligence agencies believe the Russians did it. Why doesn't the President-elect?
Well, he's basically talking about the election result, though. People are trying to conflate this,
let's take that apart from it, though. Does he believe, regardless of what the purpose was, that the Russians hacked?
What he believes is that we should have evidence, not these off-the-record, unsourced quotes and leaks from a House Intelligence Committee, where now you have the FBI arguing with the CIA over it. There is no clarity between them. We don't have a single source.
No, they both agree on one thing, that the Russians hacked.
And what people are trying to do, though, Charlie, in fairness to the President, but in fairness to the President-elect, people are trying to conflate that now to revisit the election results. We're just surrounded by election deniers. First, it's Jim Comey's fault. Then it's a bunch of people in a movement that we don't know and we're not associated with and that we've denounced time and time again. Then it's Russian interference. Oh, wait, it's Bernie Sanders. How dare he run in the primary? He won 22 states and 13 million votes. It's always something other than Hillary Clinton's fault as to why she lost. And we're not going to accept that. We're not going to allow people to insinuate or indeed insult the President-elect and the tremendous victory that he had.
But doesn't he trust the CIA? Doesn't he trust all these intelligence sources? And they say...
But he trusts the intelligence community. Here's the very basic bottom line for the President-elect, and you can trust this going forward in his administration, Charlie. We don't want foreign interference in our intelligence and our politics. We also don't want by any government, by anyone. But we also don't want politics to interfere with our intelligence. And that's what's happening right now. Politics should not interfere with our intelligence. Tremendous politicization here. I saw a Newsweek article posted last night everyone should really read, because it talks about how these CIA officials say, wait, you can't rush to judgment. It's, quote, fuzzy and ambiguous.
But it can also be true, Kellyanne. It can also be true that the Russians are responsible for the hacking, that the Russians tried to influence the election, but that Donald Trump won by other means. Those both can be true.
That's right. It could be, but we don't know that, and that's his entire point. If people want to have congressional investigations, they should do that. But we can't really get ahead of ourselves in making those conclusions.
The central claim against the Russian government is that they are trying to sow chaos, confusion, and lead to distrust in some of the greatest pillars of American democracy in our government. And one of those is the CIA. Do you believe that President-elect Trump, though, is helping to undermine the reputation of the CIA by the comments that he's making, by dismissing their report as ridiculous?
Not at all. What he's
suggesting their competence is in question because at the beginning of the Iraq War, they got it wrong then. So therefore, they've got it wrong.
He has tremendous respect and was asked that just this weekend. Said, do you respect the intelligence community? He said, I do. He was unequivocal about it. He does. But again, this conclusion is it's a political conclusion that fits the narrative of people who can't realize. Vladimir Putin didn't tell Hillary Clinton to ignore Wisconsin and Michigan.
But is this what he is saying with respect to the one China policy? Look, we'll negotiate that. There's some things I want you, China, to do, and I'll consider respecting one China if, in fact, you do these things that I want you to do. Is this a bargaining about one China?
Not at the moment. He's not the president yet, and he's not the commander-in-chief yet. He has received
but he said this yesterday in an interview. So
he received a congratulatory call from Taiwan, and playing it forward a little bit, Charlie, he has shown an openness to affecting different policies, but nothing has been announced, nothing has been finalized. We're respectful of the fact that for the next 5 weeks, we have another commander-in-chief and president in the Oval, and that's incredibly important to this. But this is somebody, he's a guy in a hurry to do great things, and this country voted for change. Nobody can argue that we don't have the best relations around the globe. That will change under President Trump.
So we'll know on
Conway,
Wednesday.
thank you so much.
On Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.